Hey, what is up, everybody? We are live here at the Digits Club. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the Worlds Beyond opportunity for the Digits Club. So, welcome, Clive. I see you're already here. Please feel free to introduce yourself so we can go ahead and get started.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Rick. Much appreciated. So, yes, I'm Clive Bennett, the CEO, co-founder of Worlds Beyond. I'm also the CEO and founder of a game publishing and development company, founded in the UK over 10 years ago. Bit of my background is we've developed and published over 30 titles, earning over 20 plus awards for our games, both those that we internally developed and kind of third-party studios titles that we've worked with to publish and distribute. We've had over kind of 10 million in downloads, 10 million in revenues for our publishing deals across various platforms in our Web2 business. And we kind of set up a whole new team and project around 20 months ago for Worlds Beyond, which I'll go into in a bit more detail shortly.
Perfect. Okay, so that's a great introduction. How about we go ahead and get started with the pitch deck, so everybody that's going in right now can go ahead, tune in, have a bit of an idea of what we're talking about, and then we can do the questions of the AMA afterwards.
Sure. Yep. I'll share that. Oh, can you allow screen sharing for me, please, Rick?
Of course. Let me see how I do that again.
And apologies ahead of time if I sound a bit nasally or a bit ropey. I have got COVID for the fourth time, so I'm a bit of a COVID magnet at the moment.
No worries. So I have given you the host, so you can go ahead and get started with the screen share now.
Okay, so you can see my screen, yes?
Yep, all good.
Okay, so yes. So as I said, I'm Clive Bennett, the CEO co-founder. That's a bit about my background there that I just went into. Philip, aka Kronos in the Discord, is the other co-founder and also the CTO. So he joined us back in 2017 on the Web2 business. We worked on a couple of kind of co-development projects in the space with some other publishers. And then kind of, as I say, back in 2020, we stepped aside from the Web2 business, so someone else kind of runs that. And we saw a gap in the market for what we could bring from Web2 to Web3. So we set up a whole new team of around kind of 30 developers, artists, 2D artists, 3D artists, and the blockchain team to go ahead and kind of build out Worlds Beyond. So some of the team experience there, those are the developers on the Web3. So they've worked on some of those titles there that you see. So kind of Demon Souls, Jedi Fallen Order, Battlefield 5. So this was a hand-selected team that's kind of, got some great reputation within the industry. So the founding advisors, that's myself and Philip. We also have kind of Ash and Addy from Vispex. So they've kind of got a wealth of experience with Web3 projects. Addy was brought on for the tokenomics side of things. We do have a host of kind of Web2 and Web3 advisors. They're not all on here. One of those is kind of Simon, the co-founder of Legends of Illumia. So he's given us some great introductions to some of the kind of the VCs that he was invested by. So he was invested by kind of Animoca, Spartan Group, and others. He's in Dubai at the moment with some event with a lot of VCs. So he's pitching Worlds Beyond there. And we have also agreed a new advisor as of yesterday. So we are invested by Miston Labs, who themselves are 400 million invested. We are going to be Sui Chain's launch partner for their layer one. So we have Anthony Palmer, who is their gaming partnerships and investments person within their team, and he's coming to be an advisor with Worlds Beyond, and he is giving us warm introductions to A16Z, Jump Crypto, Binance Labs, Coinbase Ventures, and all the ones that kind of that invested into Miston Labs. So, he's bringing some great kind of investment partners to us. We do think kind of A16Z will be leading the rounds. We are just going through those discussions at the moment, but also kind of where Anthony fits in great for us is that he has a lot of connections with gaming guilds and DAOs, which we're looking to bring onto the Worlds Beyond platform and build out some of these kind of custom games and experiences that I'll go into. So these are some of the key team leads within the Worlds Beyond team, kind of the dev side of things. And then we do have another kind of 15 plus team members that reside with us. So kind of what we see at the moment, you know, in the current sandbox metaverse, there's a lot of issues that we note. Kind of, there's a lot of simplified and low kind of graphical quality metaverses. Some of them are often lacking in kind of gameplay diversity. They are difficult to customize or build in, and some of them are kind of lacking that fun factor, which in turn kind of, you know, is giving kind of no or low real traffic in those metaverses. So kind of what the Worlds Beyond solution is.
Screenshots, by the way, sorry. Excuse me, a little bit above. The screenshots, those are not from Worlds Beyond, are they?
They are from Worlds Beyond, yes.
These are okay.
Yeah, I will show some of these in a moment. Oh, hang on. So yeah, this is our kind of solution. Worlds Beyond is essentially kind of a community-centric platform that we've kind of equipped our own proprietary infrastructure. So that includes our AI world auto generation tech. We've got world editing tools, a digital asset library. There's a character customization portal. And then we have a creator portal coming for user-generated content that's going to kind of allow creators to quickly build these unique virtual experiences. And then they're going to have kind of full monetization freedom along with kind of performance tracking analytics. So what we're looking to do is be essentially a metaverse as a service. We're looking to kind of empower the world owners to be able to kind of create, host, and then monetize these gaming or non-gaming experiences that they have. So what we sometimes say is to help people kind of, you know, take on board a lot of this is that we say we're kind of Web3 Roblox for grown-ups. So we are that kind of creator platform. We are looking to provide all those tools so those creators can bring in their user-generated content, and then these world owners can kind of host these games and these tournaments and these experiences, and then they also kind of have the monetization freedom. So those that you see there at the bottom of the slide, they are the 5 pillars of our platform. So we are very big on user-generated content. So we are making those options available. The creator portal for kind of building out your world exactly how you want. We've created a lot of these super intuitive tools that I will share with you in a moment. Interoperability, we're looking to integrate a lot of Web3 avatars. This is one from kind of an early adopter, the Matic Greys. They only had a 2D avatar, so we've worked with them to model that into 3D. We've rigged it, we've animated it, and they've got this in a battle royale template. So they want to kind of have that battle royale experience for their community. And straight off the bat, that is going to give their, you know, their existing 2D avatar project the utility to say we've got our own playable metaverse, we've got our own integrated characters, and then there's options for them to kind of you know, monetize that. They can kind of bring a lot of their community in and have their community engaged. So the creator portal, we will have an asset creator where there will be user-generated content. So kind of content creators come in and can build their assets. They can then have those rented and sold as NFTs for other world owners to then utilize them in their worlds. There'll be an asset exchange for these for them to kind of freely trade them on there. And then we have our kind of world creator portal. So I will just bring that up now so you can kind of get a bit of an idea of what I am talking about. Actually, I just need to swap my screen share. Screen one. Okay. So I will bring up this. Can you just see my screen now, Rick, where it said made with Unity? It's coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
nice behind the scenes.
So our platform is built in Unity. So, you know, we did consider Unreal Engine, but because of our Web 2 background, we do have like a plethora of indie dev game studios and publishers that kind of the majority of those do use Unity. And so kind of when we come to have more custom templates built within this platform, we do have kind of more of those, that resource pool to pull upon for using Unity. So this is the Worlds Beyond platform. This is one of the alpha builds that we have. So this is the world editor section. So we call these worlds blueprints. So what you'll be doing here is you create new. And what this is doing is kind of creating, you will be able to choose your biome. At the moment, this is only kind of set with the forest one. This is just an alpha version. We do have the other ones on our internal build. So this takes roughly 10 to 15 seconds, and it's going to kind of spit you out a world. So this is kind of essentially your base map. So you will have this to start with. It will spit out this world. It kind of procedurally generates this for you. And then what you have here, if I'll just go over here, take it over here a bit. So everything you see here is completely customizable. So you can kind of take these trees, you can kind of remove any items that you want, kind of really easy. You can kind of put some new trees in wherever you want. And then we do also have, you can kind of look to customize the kind of the terrain. So you can kind of just make that a bit stronger. So you can raise the terrain. I can kind of raise all that up there. If I wanted to lower this down and kind of, there'll be water under here, I could kind of create some lakes and rivers. You can kind of do all this. So basically these tools, what you can do is use all these tools available to you. There will be in the asset library, we are partnered with a AAA asset provider. So there will be a bank of assets where there'll be buildings in here. You can drag and drop and put those in there. And essentially what you're then getting to do is build out your own kind of customized world experience. So just to kind of track back slightly, we minted out our collection in November last year, just after the FTX collapse. So great timing on our part, but it did mint out in 43 minutes. So all world owners have got a land pass. And what that gives them is a 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer world, similar to this. And then they can go in there and they have access to all these tools to begin to kind of manipulate and change their environment and build it how they want. Within the asset library as well, there will be kind of modular parts. So if they wanted to kind of, there's loads of little bits of building. If they kind of spent the time to build up something kind of, pretty spectacular like a castle, they put all those bits together and build that unique structure. They can group that together. They can then rent that or sell that as an NFT, and then other world owners can kind of have that and then drop that into their worlds as well, which is going to kind of save them a lot of time for building out their kind of bespoke world. And on the flip side as well, if you build out a whole custom world, so if you built a sprawling city as a creator, you can then save that as a whole template. And again, you can rent or you can sell that whole NFT template. So people can load up that into their worlds and they've got that custom city that you built for them. So you could say, I've only got one available, you only sell one, or you could make 50 of them available and sell 50 of them. And then people can kind of use those within their kind of worlds and experiences. So that's all the environmental side of things, the tools that we have there. And then what we also have is we have currently built, we are close to finalizing 8 game logic templates. So that's all the environment. And then we are building these game logic templates. So you can load these up into your world that you've customized, and then you have that game logic. So one of the ones that we've got at the moment, one of the 8 that is ready is our zombie survival game template. So world owners will be able to have this and load it up into their world, and then they can kind of host these events. We are going to be running a tournament on this shortly. So it might lag a bit on Zoom, I think.
Yeah, quite a bit actually.
Yeah, we've had this problem with Zoom before, so
yeah, I don't think it's consumable for the watchers. That's how much it lags. But I think by the screenshots that we're seeing, pretty much we can have an idea of what it would look like in game.
I also find it quite hard to talk and play. So we do have this kind of alpha platform available within our Discord. So kind of a lot of our holders have access to test this and get a hand on some of those world building tools. So we do only have around 20% of those available in this build. Internally, we have 100% of those ready, but we do have to bring them in modules so we can kind of bug test those and get those kind of cleaned and ready for other people to see. So I'll just go back to.
Yeah, and about those tournaments, you showed me a screenshot the other day. I think it was on the pitch deck. Perhaps you could go back to your screenshot and show the screenshot on the pitch deck by the participants in the tournament. I think it was the zombie tournament or something on Discord that you guys did.
Yeah, that's
a bit further than I thought. There he goes. That's the one.
So this is the zombie survival tournament. So we have over 50 communities that have signed up for this. And what they'll be looking to do, they can go in and represent their community by kind of just saying, oh, I'm kind of part of Steady Stack. And then all those kind of scores are going to be aggregated at the end of the week, and there's going to be prizes for solo play and community play as well. But in our follow-up tournament that we have with our Battle Royale template, we have fully integrated Web3 avatars. So some of these projects can come in and say, I'm going to play as a BAYC, and then they're going to be playing in these multiplayer tournaments that we have as well. So we did recently have a Discord with kind of Sui and Mr. Labs representative there, and we had kind of we brought up 10 of the projects that are looking to build with us. So those game templates that I talked about that we have ready. So we have the zombie survival, we have kind of tank battle, we have first and third person shooter, the battle royale. And basically we're creating those templates to an alpha level, so world owners can kind of use those, bring them into their world. They can host and monetize these tournaments. But also there's a lot of communities that have come to us that want something particularly exclusive for their community. Some of them are kind of looking to build like a casino world. Someone wants to do a Fall Guys template. So we're working with them to kind of build those templates out. They then can have that for their community to bring their community on board. And again, it's giving them access to their own playable metaverse that they can monetize for their community. And they can also kind of have their avatars integrated and brought into those playable experiences as well.
Cool. So
I just pop through some of the other stuff. So interoperability is something we're big on. As I say, we're looking to bring in the POP integrations. So a lot of projects also are looking to issue digital branded assets. So we do have a character customization portal where you can put your Web3 avatar in there. You can kind of change all the different elements of him. You can kind of put your logo branding on there. And some of these projects are looking to issue their own digital assets, which is kind of another revenue stream for them via our platform as well. And so each of these kind of worlds that they have the owners have the complete monetization freedom to do as they want. So they can have it kind of free to play if they want, so play to own. They can have it kind of pay to own, so kind of pay to play, skill to own. I mean, we are also looking at kind of future monetization methods where they can have kind of subscription models, they can have battle passes, they can do kind of token gated entry if they're going to run, say, a battle royale tournament. So everyone puts in one token and the top X amount of winners win tokens back. And then obviously the world owner can kind of take some of those as a pool for themselves. And what we're kind of looking to do with some of the communities is if a community owns, say, one world, but some of the project leads own one world, and people in their community also own worlds, they can stake their worlds to the project, and then that project can utilize those worlds, which can be joined together to create a much bigger area, and they can kind of host those tournaments, they can monetize those tournaments, and any kind of revenues that earn can then be distributed fairly to the people that also stake their worlds to it. So, you know, they have more skin in the game. They get to be a part of the experience or the gaming experience that their kind of project that they're supporting has built out. So, you know, it gives them more kind of engagement with that side of things as well.
Clive, I have to ask, it says,
yeah.
it says pay to earn. If you go up a little bit, sorry, I have to read it because I forgot what it said. Right, pay to own, and then it says similar to pay to win. I think you must be the first game to proudly say that you have an element of pay to win, or am I reading that wrong?
So we are a platform. So what we're trying to say is that the monetization, ownership, and freedom is within the world owners' hands. They are the content creators. We are just providing all the tools and the infrastructure. So if they wish to do that, they can do that. So in Web2 games, kind of pay to win is essentially a part of the kind of a lot of the free to play games. Anyway, that is what it is. You're paying things to kind of skip along to speed up the process. You are doing that, and that is a very successful model in Web2. So Web3 maybe not so, but what we're trying to say is they do have that option to do that, and they can also kind of do skill to earn these tournaments they can run, and they can just do completely free to play, or they can just have kind of we are looking to bring in an ad platform, so they can have advertising boards within there, which can be a revenue stream for them as well. So in our Web2 business is kind of ad mediation. So what our ad platform in Worlds Beyond will be is advertisers can come in with their advertising creatives. They will kind of bid. Those with the highest bids will then get shown within the worlds, and as I say, that becomes a revenue stream for the world owners. And we are bringing in an analytics platform, so world owners will get to kind of track key metrics within the game, how it's performing, the retention of their players, the kind of the spending behavior, which is going to allow the world owners to kind of optimize their games and experiences for kind of better performance, see what's working and see what's not working. And what is good with these worlds is if they've built out a world and they're monetizing it, it's doing really well, they can save that as a template and they can drag and drop it in the world when they want, but they can use those tools to kind of change that up and change that metaverse to another game. Say Christmas is coming, they could have a Christmas themed template that they drag and drop in, and then they've got that. So, they've not just got one metaverse world that they're set with. They can keep constantly changing this and providing kind of new, fresh games and experiences, loading in the new logic templates that have come available, and then creating kind of just more fun and engaging games to their community. Rather than doing all these poker tournaments that everyone does, they get to kind of have their own different games. They can run tournaments where kind of they have content creators building out maps for them on our worlds, and they can kind of host those as tournaments. So as I say, kind of the options here are essentially limitless. We are the kind of the infrastructure and those tools for people to kind of build out these games and experiences. And as I say, host and monetize these as they see fit. So on the hosting side, non-gaming experiences on these worlds, like you saw there with the zombie one, can have up to 200 players on one world for a non-gaming. If it's a bit more complex, like a battle royale, we can have between 65 up to 100, depending on how complex that is as well.
So how deep does the analytics go on the ads? So if, let's say I run an ad on one of the worlds, how does it get tracked? Like how successful the ad is? Can you click on the billboard and go to a website, or is there an analytics board that shows how many people viewed the board in game, or it does not go that deep? It's just a billboard.
Yeah, so just to be clear, Rick, so this is kind of the analytics and ad platform are yet to be built. These are kind of bolt-ons that are coming in the near future. They're going to be late Q2. We're taking a lot of our experience from what we see in Web 2 that will work. A lot of the advertising that can go in there, we can do banner ads, we can do kind of interstitials, and we can do kind of rewarded ads, and we can look at kind of immersive ads as well. So all those options are on the table. We are just bringing the Web 2 side of things into this, just as an additional revenue stream for people, because we do know kind of advertising is huge. For an example here, so kind of this would be an arena where some of these could just be sponsorship deals as well. You just have kind of that advertising real estate within your world if you wish to have those kind of additional revenue streams for your game, for non-game.
Cool. Yeah.
So kind of the platform at this moment in time there's a lot of revenue streams. So the ones in green are ones that we've activated and kind of producing revenues for us at this moment. So as I say, some of these custom templates that we're developing for projects, PFP integrations. We are working with a couple of projects, over 10 projects that want their avatars integrated. Some of them want all of their 10,000 collection avatars integrated, which we're doing. As I say, some of them are doing digital branded assets. And obviously we had our kind of land purchases mint out that we did at the end of in November last year. Excuse me. So our business model kind of at its core, it's built on a self-sustaining cycle of growth. So players are investing money to participate in these immersive gaming and non-gaming experiences. And this is kind of fueling the demand for assets created within the platform. And then these revenues are going to fuel rewards for the platform's owners, the creators and the builders. And this is going to kind of encourage them to reinvest in the platform and then create even more unique experiences and assets for players to consume. So we do also anticipate that gaming communities and guilds will also contribute to these revenue streams as they also look to kind of want kind of digital branded assets from those that we've spoken to. And as mentioned before, kind of Anthony from Miston is going to be key for us to kind of bring a lot of those kind of guilds into play for us. So our token utility engine, so this is kind of highlights the power of the Worlds Beyond token. You can see the numerous use cases for our tokens that are kind of represented by those green arrows there. So these use cases are creating kind of a significant amount of purchasing pressure for our tokens on both the centralized and decentralized asset exchanges. Sorry, and they're it's a bit of a mouthful when you have COVID, and creating kind of a strong demand for our tokens. This is going to kind of ensure the stability and the growth over time by having these kind of multiple avenues for token utilization. So, what we're looking to build is a thriving and sustainable ecosystem that's going to provide value to kind of all the participants within it.
A lot of arrows.
There's a lot of arrows, which is a good thing. I mean, there's a lot of kind of play to earn games. We all know kind of play to earn is dead. They have these kind of tokens, and there's just not the use cases. But because our platform is so kind of wide ranging and the content, because it is the infrastructure and it is a platform, it's not just a game. This is why we have a lot of kind of use cases for that token, which is what has been appealing to a lot of the, SUI in particular. So SUI they wanted us to be their launch partner because they are a layer one similar to Polygon. They want a lot of asset consumption in these games. We are essentially bringing a lot of builders that are going to bring their own games. So, we're bringing a lot of kind of gaming experiences for SUI and doing a lot of their work for them essentially. So this is our kind of go-to-market strategy where, as I mentioned, we're kind of focusing on community and project founders, looking to help bring their kind of visions to life and expand their project's utility that they have at this moment. So we are working closely with around 20 at the moment to help them create flagship games of the highest quality. So it's going to kind of showcase what can be done on Worlds Beyond. So some of these are financed by their treasuries, but we are doing these at cost for them initially, just so we can kind of boost kind of those high quality experiences. And we're also looking to kind of support them with running community events and kind of establishing a solid business model for those that also want to kind of distribute custom digital branded assets as well. Another thing kind of there is kind of by Q3 of 2024, our tech team has confirmed that we're going to be fully accessible on both web and mobile platforms. So this is just a PC download at the moment, but we are going to make worlds that are optimized for mobile and web, and with VR in our thinking as well. So we are looking to nail the PC version first. Consoles is also in our thoughts because we are already approved publishers with the likes of Nintendo, Xbox, Microsoft, and PlayStation. So we have those dev kits in place, so we can kind of look to port those relatively easy and remove that friction. But our first kind of goal is to kind of really nail that PC version down, and then bring in those other kind of console platforms and the optimized web and mobile versions. So these are kind of some of the communities that are building with us that we've spoken with. There's a whole plethora of kind of custom builds that they're looking to do, which is great. So everyone's kind of building something kind of different. There's a couple of battle royales in there, but because one of them are doing it on an alien world, someone's doing something else, so no two battle royales are the same, even though it's the same game logic. And so the tournament I mentioned previously, the zombie tournament. So kind of our growth projections, because of our change in go-to-market strategy shift and the rising interest curve, we are on track to hit kind of a huge user base by the end of 2023, and with our kind of partners that we're bringing on board, we've already exceeded our kind of 2022 revenue projections, and kind of in January alone, we've got kind of 1.2 million in negotiations for custom experiences and these kind of PFP creation services. So our kind of forecast for this year is up to 5 million, up from the initial kind of 2.5 million forecast, just because of that interest in these custom experiences. Like I say, I mean, they are just getting to build their own kind of metaverse gaming experience for, it's a lot more cost effective for them, and it's kind of done, a lot more rapidly than if they were going to kind of get their own developer team and kind of build their own platform themselves at the end of the day. So just onto the tokenomics. We're currently seeking a raise of 8 to 10 million USD in funding through kind of token and equity options. That's going to kind of ramp up our operations and kind of keep pace with the demand that we've got at the moment. So we have a limited supply of 10 billion, and you can see their initial market cap of 762k and a fully diluted value of 60 million at public launch. So our kind of token, from our tokenomics advisor, our token is able to allow for like a shorter vesting schedule, thanks to some of the kind of the purchase pressure that we highlighted on the token utility chart above. So the funding that we're receiving, kind of a lot of that is going to go to scaling our team. So we're looking to kind of double or triple the size of the team, so we can do more of these custom builds. We can support a lot of these Web3 projects that are interested in this. We do also looking to have a stimulus grant program. So some of these Web2 publishers and kind of studios that are looking to build, we're looking to bring those in. They may have existing games with game logic that they want to kind of transfer to Worlds Beyond. So they might have a successful game on Steam that particularly work well on Worlds Beyond. So kind of, we're looking to offer those grants to bring those across, which is great. These are a lot of kind of some of the partners that we have. So as I say, kind of currently we are closing in on a 6 million seed round raise through kind of Miston Labs. So as I mentioned before, we are in discussions with kind of A16Z, Griffin, Animoca's coming on board. So we do have a lot of those interested in what we are building. They are quite big on the user-generated content, the interoperability side of things, and the fact that we are the infrastructure. So, we do show this to a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, it looks like a really good game." And we do stress a lot that we're not the game. We are the kind of the creator portal and platform.
Cool. Ooh, and then my screen was dark. There we go.
You get to the coffee.
Perfect. Okay. No, that was very comprehensive. So I'm sitting a little bit in the dark, you guys. I think it'll be fine for now. So that was great. I think most people now know at least the basics of what we're talking about. Right now, it would be really nice if we can ask some questions. So everybody in the chat, be sure to go over to the chat and to ask whatever you want to ask. I did have some questions though, before I let you guys jump on. So what I'm seeing a lot, right, with these metaverse projects, and I think this would be, if you can answer this properly, I think that would be so valuable for everybody listening right now. What is the exact difference between this metaverse system and the other ones out there? Because as you are well aware, there's a lot of them out there. What would you say is your key different point versus your competitors?
So kind of what we're trying to do is we're trying to make, as I say, with some of these tools that are available, we're trying to make it easy to build. So a lot of these other kind of projects, there's a lot of limitations and it's quite hard to build. So we're trying to, as much as we're working with these Web3 projects to build them some custom builds, we are available to kind of hobbyists. So some of those tools I shared with you there. If you've ever played kind of a sim builder game, you should be able to kind of drag and drop things in there. You can drag and drop assets in there, spend a little bit of time to build your own kind of custom experience environment. And then you have these kind of game logic templates, so all different types. So, if you go into Sandbox, you might just have kind of running around, jumping and doing that sort of things. But we're looking to bring in these ones like space battle, tank battle, car racing, bike racing. So anything that fits your needs, you can go, right, I want to drag and drop that in my world. I've got that game logic straight away, and it's on the kind of the environment that I've built. So it's fully customized and bespoke to me. And then you can kind of host that with your friends, or you can host it to bring in more people. You can monetize it. As I say, kind of we are putting all those tools on the table to make this as easy as possible for anyone to come along and begin to build out what they want. So this is why we do say, Web3 Roblox for grown-ups. So, Roblox is hustling and bustling with all that kind of user-generated content. There's a lot of content creators that are monetizing what they're building. And, the more people that build, the more kind of fun games and experiences that you're going to get. So this is, at the moment in time, there's nothing to bring Web2 gamers to Web3 because there's just nothing that fun to play. So we're trying to kind of empower, the community to kind of build out a lot of these mini games and experiences and get those hosted and bring the fun to the kind of the metaverse experiences really. So, and on that we are going at higher end of graphics. So there's a lot of voxel based metaverses out there. Having said that, some of the asset packs that we will have in the asset library will be voxel based. So if you wanted to build your own voxel world, then that was completely within your realms to do. So, you can build any theme, any graphical style up to a thing. So you have complete control as to what you do. So we're not building a metaverse in our vision. We're saying, here's all the tools to build what you think is your vision and what is fun for your community or your friends or whoever it may be.
Interesting. So a question from Herman from the chat. He's asking, what exactly made you move from Web 2 over to Web 3?
So, myself and Philip were kind of casually interested in kind of Web 3, what was going on. We are always looking at kind of new technologies within the space and the surrounding space. We came to a juncture where there was some good new Web3 developers that were available for us to bring on board. And so we did completely step aside from the Web2 business just because we saw, we had been discussing the metaverse. We had seen NFT worlds previously, if you're aware of that project. So, we had the benefit of coming second to be able to see where, we could improve upon things that they had done and what we could bring from our Web2 experience, really. So, it was essentially a natural progression. I mean, we talked with a lot of publishers in Web2, and a lot of these are already moving to kind of, or they're already thinking about Web3, and a lot of them are going to be moving across. So we speak regularly with Unity, and we are under NDA with them, but they are bringing some Web3 technologies in. They're working on a marketplace. They're working on their own wallet creation thing. So a lot of the people in our Web2 space were already talking about Web3 and looking to move that way. So we kind of decided to pivot and make that move because we thought we could bring real value with kind of the platform that we're bringing, because we just think there is a gap in the market for that type of platform in Web3.
And it makes sense. I mean, if you made this the same concept, but then Web 2, you would have just been a Roblox clone. But now you're actually adding some new value. So that's a good point.
Essentially, and just on the Roblox there, Rick, Roblox there. So kind of Roblox, their target market, their target audience is a younger audience. It would be particularly hard for them to pivot to NFTs and Web3, but obviously their kind of current user base doesn't fit that. So that is why, if we did do it in Web2, it would have just been a clone of that, but it still would have been, the higher quality of graphics. So it would have still had a niche, a separate part for it there. But the whole Web3 things, we don't need to pivot. We can build from the ground up, which we have done for the last 20 months to have this platform as it is.
Yeah, well, I feel like still, if you went Web 2 route, you would have, for instance, been competing with like Gmod and stuff like that. Also, higher graphics, better than Roblox, more pointed at adults. But again, it's completely Web 2, so you can't integrate any NFTs or digital assets. So that's what I like about Worlds Beyond, that it's a concept that we're already familiar with, but with the Web3 integrations, which makes it interesting. Team, guys in the chat, think of any questions. Meanwhile, I have one more while you guys are thinking. Could you tell us a little bit more about the sale that our community might be able to participate in? What tokens are for sale right now? What round? Just walk them through the whole process right now.
Yeah, so I would need to consult with Ash, like from Vispex. I think you guys are open to the kind of seed round for our token, which is coming this Friday, the 10th of February.
Yeah,
so
through Vispex, right?
Yeah, so through Vispex. So that is 1 p.m. GMT that is opening. So that allows you to jump in and have the access to the token at a kind of 0.3 cents, which in the public price is looking to be 0.6 cents. So that is a first come, first serve. So it is open to our Worlds Beyond holders and some of the kind of select community. So obviously the community such as yourself through the Vispex Executive Lounge. We've also brought in kind of a couple of the other partners that we're doing custom builds with. Dark Echelon, Amir we talk to regularly. He's looking to come in, although he might have a separate round. I'm not entirely sure. And then we're bringing some of those communities in for kind of that raise there. So that's for the seed raise for our token. But then obviously some of the VCs there coming in and doing a combination of equity and tokens as well. So yeah, you guys are on that one on Friday. I'll send you more information. You might well have it all from Ash already, but yeah, looking forward to have you guys jumping in. But there are a few kind of exclusive communities on that. And as I say, it is first come, first served. So hopefully we'll see you guys on Friday for that.
I'm pretty sure you will. That sounds very nice. So let's see, one more question coming in from Herman again. He's asking why SUI?
Why SUI?
That's the question.
Why SUI? So SUI is the layer one that we're looking to use. So kind of they are able to kind of help us scale for the on-chain solution that we need. So there's going to be in the worlds that the experiences, the built on Worlds Beyond, there's going to be a lot of asset consumption. They can have kind of on-chain stuff for like quests and skill leveling systems. So if you had an RPG, you've got a leveling system, you've got quests in there, that can all be on-chain. And so what SUI provides is kind of a really cost-effective way to be able to have all these kind of on-chain data management. So this is why we kind of, we decided to go with those. And as they are launching Q2 2023. It aligned with when we were launching. They wanted us to be their launch partner, and we are their only user-generated content GameFi project on their platform. And then, we've just grown that relationship. So as I say, Anthony's coming across as an advisor. Miston Labs themselves have invested. They're bringing all their other VCs in. So it's just been a really good partnership, over and above the layer one on-chain element, all the other kind of things that come with that. So that's why we decided to go with Sui in the end.
Perfect. All right, let's see. I think that was all the questions for now. Actually, no, Herman keeps going. What audience are you aiming at? Who's the player of WB? Okay, Worlds Beyond. Yeah.
So as we mentioned, so we are targeting kind of owners, players, and creators. So kind of the owners are going to be the ones that own the world, and they're going to host these events and run and manage these events and monetize them. We're going to have the creators that can kind of come in and create user-generated content, be those assets like vehicles, weapons in game. They could be environmental assets, they could be world assets. And then the players themselves are going to be kind of what the communities bring in. So this is why we're targeting Web3 communities, because a lot of these projects, when we integrate their avatars, they have kind of discords of 5, 10, 20, 30, 50,000 members. So they've got active communities already. So they've got we build these games and experiences for them, and they can straight away bring and engage their communities in there already, because they have these communities. They bring in their digital assets, they bring in their avatars, they're straight away jumping in. So the end goal for us is to bring in kind of Web2 players. But because this is a Web3 platform, it's a lot easier for us to kind of scale rapidly by bringing in these partnerships with these Web3 projects. So as mentioned, we are speaking with a lot of our Web2 partners that are coming into Web3. So when we come to mobile and further down the line, we have a lot of strategic user acquisition partners for Web2. But what we want to do is kind of, get everyone on board from Web3 first, because those are the ones that are, they know what Web3 is about already in the first instance. So that is why we're targeting all those communities. When we come to the Web2 communities, we are working on things like the kind of the wallet creation in the background, which is trying to remove a lot of the crypto friction. So when we do bring those Web2 players in, they're just going to think they're playing any normal Web2 game. It's just fun, but behind the scenes, it's got them a crypto wallet. They've got World Bits tokens. They've got digital assets, and the wallet's being created for them. So that is the end goal where we're going to look to get to. But yeah, so initially, kind of a lot of these Web3 communities, because that's where the demand is at the moment.
Right, and in addition to that, what would be the current division between players and creators? So obviously you want it to be probably like 20% creators, 80% players, or some percentage like that. I'm not entirely sure. Did you guys have an idea of what would be the perfect ratio and what the current status is?
So, the ratio, the more creators, the better, really. So the more kind of user-generated content that comes in. So some of the stimulus grant funds that we're looking to do to bring developer studios in, they're going to build assets and game logic templates. So that's going to open up the pool for kind of other world owners to use those. And as I say, kind of the more kind of people the more assets that are consumable and kind of good game templates that are there, the more players are going to come and play these fun and engaging games, really. So we're working on the creators by bringing in these verified builders. We've got our core team that are building these game templates. We're working Web3 projects to build custom builds for them as well. But as I say, kind of they're bringing the players in over us, really, because they have those experiences that they're hosting. So, right,
perfect. Okay, so would you mind, I'm not quite sure how you are on time, but would you mind quickly putting up the tokenomics again on the pitch deck? Because we have a couple of questions coming in on those things, which might be nice to have a visual on that real quick.
Yeah, it would have been nice. I was going to share some of the game templates, those ones that you see, like the tank battle and the car racing, because that is on the alpha platform. But I think because it's lagging, it's not that good. But what I can do is I can share the alpha builds with your community, so they can download it and they can kind of have a look at what I was showing them at their leisure, so they can see some of the other game templates. And so I can make that available after that call for you.
Yeah, for sure. That would be great. Okay, yeah, right there. So we got one question coming in asking about let's see. How your vision is on supporting the seed investors with these tokenomics. Let's see, the seed round having 9% of the tokenomics. I think it's also mostly about the vesting graph, a little bit down.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what's the question, sorry, Rick?
The question is, how are these investors going to be supported? Coming from Herman, saying there's going to be cliff, 3 months cliff with then a monthly release of 16 months. He's saying, aren't you afraid that the pre-seed will take profit off of the investment? How do you see that?
So the pre-seed round is for kind of some of these the tier one VCs, so kind of the VCs that are going to lead. And with Miston, kind of what they're looking to do to have the lead VCs are the ones that are going to be kind of, they're involved in gaming. They're not here just to kind of make a quick buck. So these aren't kind of flipper VCs. These are VCs that are seeing this for the long-term hold. You know, kind of A16Z and Animoca. Animoca is really big on interoperability. So kind of if we're with them, kind of they've got a lot of projects that they have. So a lot of those projects they have, there's scope for them to be interoperable and be brought into our kind of worlds beyond to expand their portfolio. So, you know, they're not going to be just kind of making a quick buck and selling their seed, selling their kind of seed round off. So we do have kind of full confidence in that. As I say, kind of Miston and Vispex are kind of managing that for us, you know, and kind of Griffin, the other gaming VC, we're looking to get in as well. So, you know, we have high confidence in kind of what our tokenomics advisory team is telling us is the best way forward. So we have high confidence in that.
Okay, there's a little additional question to that. If they are investors, they will take profits. Would the seed investors be victim of that?
I probably could do with you know, one of the core team on this. I'm not the one who's best at kind of the tokenomics side of things, so I'll just be open and transparent about that. Rather than me give you kind of the answer that I think is right, I can get back to you with that with kind of someone from the team. So as I say, Ash from the team would be best to kind of answer that question.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, by the way, do want to give props on the vesting graph. It's like super comprehensive. Usually projects have just these very annoying graphs with just lines and that's it. So this is really nice to read. Quick compliment
Yeah,
there
well,
in between.
all credit goes to Addy. He's the tokenomics guy. So, you know, all credit goes to him for kind of putting the work in to do this. I know when he saw our token utility engine and kind of this caused him a bit of a headache initially because there was so much to kind of plan for and do. But, you know, yeah, he's done a good job. But yeah, I'll definitely get back to kind of the answer to that question. If you want to send me that question, Rick, afterwards, and I'll get Herman the answer to that, you know, from one of the team.
For sure. Yeah, we can do that. So let's move away a little bit from the tokenomics questions. I have something from Anthony coming in asking when the public round is, with a note, sorry if I missed that. So yeah, when the public round will be.
So I'm not sure we have the public round in place. As I say, kind of some of it is tagged to these ongoing conversations that we're having with Miston Labs and the VCs. Again, that's one for our kind of you know, tokenomics team and kind of Ash, our incubation partner. They're the ones that are kind of in control with a lot of that at the moment. And as soon as we know what that will be, it's going to be announced. Again, I can ask Ash. Is Ash in the audience by chance? He did say he might come along. It'd be good if he was. King Smith he would be. So
King Smith. No, I don't think we have a King Smith.
Okay. So yeah, so I'll find out about the public round when that's going to be. I think it was initially planned to be sometime in March, but as I say, kind of there's a few kind of ongoing things in the background with kind of you know, there's these revelations with kind of Mr. Nabs that we had recently.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. We can update that on that, the community on that later. One more question coming in from Avon asking, at the moment, which is the competitor that you are most worried about in the current market?
So obviously there are a lot of metaverse platforms out there, and you know, kind of at the start of the pitch deck, you know, we do think there's a lot of kind of there's a lot of issues with a lot of those. We don't believe currently there is a really direct competitor, just because, you know, we are offering a lot of these tools available. So, you know, there are the obvious ones like the likes of Sandbox, but we've spoken with a lot of developers that have found that tricky to build in. And this is why we've kind of got sight of all these metaverses over the last couple of years. And we've been able to see things where that needed improvement on. And this is why, being the type of project that we are, these Web3 projects that want to build a custom build, we've got a team available for them to talk it through with them. We're giving them a kind of advice on how we think they should monetize it, if they want to monetize it, how they could manage their economy, how they can kind of bring assets in, make it optimized, and kind of, give them the full package of helping them to kind of build out what they want, rather than just going, you've got access to Sandbox, go and get yourself a team of devs, try and sort out how you're going to build it and do the best yourself. We're trying to kind of give that support side of things to them. So we do think we stand out. As I say, the Web2 equivalent is the Roblox. So if there's going to be a Web3 Roblox, we do believe it will be us, and this is why we'll have that. We have had that strong kind of conviction from the VCs that we've been talking to, that they feel the same as us in that way. So, every metaverse is a competitor in one respect, but we do just think we're providing more of the infrastructure, like I say, kind of the analytics platform and the ad platform that we're looking to bring in. We haven't seen that elsewhere. So this is going to help people optimize their experiences. So they're not just building, seeing how it goes, not knowing how it's going. They are going to be able to have that kind of those full metrics and kind of KPIs to understand how well their world or experience is performing.
Right. So that would be Sandbox and Roblox, the bigger competitors there. But we're not big fans of Sandbox overall. So definitely there's a lot of improvements that can be made over there. So standing out by bringing more and doing it better, I like that.
Yeah, so for us, I mean, personally, I'm not big on voxel graphics. We wanted to do something a bit more for the maturer market. So Web3 is a little bit maturer than that. But those Minecraft type graphics, I mean, the average age of a Minecraft player is over 20. So, as much as my children do play Minecraft and Roblox, some people do like that. So, I mean, mine and Philip's, the other co-founders, our personal preferences, we aren't big fans of voxels. But this is why we haven't completely discounted it, in that kind of the world builders will have those packs available if they do want to build that. But we just think the higher end of graphics is for more of the mature market, and it just opens up more, not for the non-gaming side of things as well. Kind of, for me, just you lose a bit when it's in voxels. So if it's, there's more on the table, then we just think kind of more people can be, covered for what they want to have.
100% agree with that. Another question coming in from Herman, asking if you already know the SECs for the exchange.
I don't know. Again, another one for Kingsmith, who would have been great to have on this call. I mean, we can always bring him into I'll bring him into your Discord as well, Rick, so I can get him to kind of answer some of those questions from Herman straight off the bat. It's a shame I didn't have him kind of for that side of things here. So I'll definitely get those answers to you, Herman, as well. So very prolific with the questions as well. So I appreciate it. All great questions.
Yeah, and some compliments as well. Anthony saying that the platform is looking great, that he's enjoying the AMA. And Herman already found Ash as he is in the Discord. So that should work out automatically. I'm scrolling through the chat, seeing if we missed any questions. I don't think so. You guys have anything else? Let me see if I missed anything. Oh, yeah, Anthony also asked when is the IDO, but that's the same as the public. So
yeah.
I think I can answer that as well. Okay. Right, looking good. Clive, do you have anything else that you would like to add? Some closing thoughts?
No, I appreciate kind of you guys having us, and we always appreciate all the support that we can get. It's a shame I couldn't show you kind of, it's a shame Zoom is a bit laggy for what we were trying to show you. But as I say, I will share the links with you afterwards, so you can kind of test out some of those 8-game templates. You can have a look at some of the world building tools.
It's really cool.
You can get hands on, go with it really. So I mean, as I say, we have been building for a long time. We could have kind of in the bull market, we probably could have minted out in seconds with a cinematic trailer, but what we do like, because we are very Web2, we did like to build a product first. So we built something kind of very tangible. And this is why, the VCs are very interested in what we've got, because normally kind of people are coming to them with concept phase, they're coming with a cinematic trailer and they're selling the vision. But as much as we're selling the vision, we have that trust that we can build these things because we have that kind of alpha platform that we've built already, and kind of we've got users coming to it already, and there's revenues coming in, so we have kind of over doubled our revenues that we expected. We're getting a lot of these custom builds that kind of, has surpassed our expectations at this stage in January, that kind of how many people wanted to build something. But as I've mentioned a couple of times, it is because these projects, some of these were just 2D avatar projects, and now they get the chance to have this additional utility and kind of really re-engage their community, and kind of they just see a new path for them in the future to continue going, rather than a lot of these soft drugs that are going on. They're now getting something a bit more tangible, and the community's getting kind of a bit involved, really. So I really appreciate you guys. Definitely do, if you like your gaming and things, do have a look at the platform so you can have a feel for yourself, and we're always open to kind of suggestions. This is a community-centric platform, so we are open to a lot of suggestions. The more kind of crowd-sourced ideas and things we get, we're looking to bring a lot of these into the platform where they kind of are going to improve it. So we're always open to that. So feel free to jump in our Discord as well. It's a welcoming community there as well.
Yeah, and even the non-gamers out there. I mean, if you are just interested in the token sale, make sure to just at least check it out. I will make sure to post every, like the Discord link, but also all of the other relevant links in hashtag opportunities. So keep that in mind, you guys. And always just, do your own due diligence. And this AMA will also be rewatchable over on YouTube. So if you want to skip around with the timestamps, tomorrow it will go live. And then I guess the 10th of February, we will have the official sale. So thank you again, Clive, for coming on and informing our community about your project. And we'll be sure to be there when everything kicks off.
Thank you again. Much appreciated, Rick, for having me. And thank you all to the community. So no doubt we'll speak again soon, Rick. And thank you very much.
All right. Speak to you guys soon. Bye-bye.